Aw man, strap in. Old Nicky G's had too much coffee and too much pre-workout, and now he's going to go on a rant about capitalism. Alright, listen, don't pay too much attention to my voice. I've been screaming into a pillow for the past several hours. I think it's important to contextualize aftermath in the setting of what's happened to America and capitalism in general. I grew up learning that if you worked for a company and you did good work, you worked hard, invested your most important asset, your time, expertise, into that company and its success, then that company would reward you when it did well. If the company made a profit, you would reap some portion of that profit. Leadership, the captains of the ship, would make wise decisions regarding the allocation of the resources that you had helped them earn. There would be growth, reinvestment, and a reward for them as well, but at least an equitable distribution of profits. This motivated the workforce to remain with that company and drive its success forward. For a time during the 50s and 60s and 70s, this was kind of the model, and various companies had varying degrees of success. But, like Phyrexian oil corrupting the very fabric of the planar soil, corruption seeped into the system in the guise of corporate greed. What happens now is a big corporation buys a smaller corporation that is perhaps profiting due to the vision and wisdom of the leadership. A small company has a good idea, and that vision becomes an extension of the leaders. They invest in their workforce, they share their profits, everybody's creating a maximum output. Then a mega corporation comes in and buys this smaller company. Now they don't care what happens to this company. They exist to extract profits, and that's it. It's not enough for them to make money. They are parasites that take and take. Corporate CEO pays 278 times the average worker pay, according to a recent study. So what they do is they squeeze the company. They run it into the ground, all in the name of extracting the maximum money to satisfy their egos. They don't care about the product, they don't care about the consumers, they don't care about anything except making obscene amounts of money. If we're talking about, I don't know, video games or Magic the Gathering card games, then that's kind of sad for us, right? Because we like these things. The problem is that we have industries like railroad shipping, airlines, and healthcare practicing the same model. These greedy monsters literally have blood on their hands, and they don't care. When a plane crashes or a train carrying toxic vinyl chloride derails in Ohio, real people die, and these people just say, oh well. You ever hear about the thought experiment where you can just press a button and you get like $1 million or something, but someone you don't know has to die? Would you do it? I wouldn't do that, of course not. Well, these sociopaths are literally pressing that button as many times as they can, like they're trying to do rapid-fire Chun-Li kicks in Street Fighter. They want to get more money than they can possibly ever use, just so they can buy things and look down on the rest of us from their yachts. We have this idea that the more money you make, the better you are. Full stop in America. It's ingrained into our culture, in our upbringing. It's what America was built on. The problem is that it's true at any cost, even other human lives. Alright, so let's circle back here. This is a Magic the Gathering, mainly Commander channel, so I want to talk about that. Picture some old rabid corpse in a boardroom somewhere, right? They wear human clothes, they look human almost. Nice suits, nice ties, they have perfectly white teeth, very manicured skin and hair. Some game designers from Wizards are at the table trying to please this human black hole, this massive child, so that he can go golfing and feel respected by the other soulless vampires at the country club. We all know about old school Magic getting their hands on this early, spoiling it like a wet fart into the wind. I don't know what Wizards pays its designers, but it certainly can shell out for a private military operation to retrieve their early spoiled cardboard. And listen, brothers and sisters, I know that ain't cheap. More money, feed me more. We get more variants, we get serialized cards, we gotta make more money. We get collector boosters, we get chase mythics, we get ragavans, just push it as hard as you can. Premium sets, and now Aftermath. March of the Machine's Aftermath is a follow-up to Magic the Gathering expansion March of the Machine, focusing heavily on the story that show what happens after the events of March of the Machine. Standard League or micro set consisting of 50 cards, each with epilogue booster packs containing 5 cards. Oh my god. March of the Machine, the Aftermath is sold in epilogue boosters. Oh geez, lore pack boosters that continue the story between sets with a guaranteed foil and showcase card in every pack. Each epilogue booster contains 5 cards with a combination of 1 to 3 cards of rarity rare or higher and 2 to 4 uncommon cards. In every pack, a total of 1 to 2 cards of any rarity of our traditional foil. This set also features collector boosters, as well as a bundle. Each collector booster contains a whopping 6 Magic the Gathering cards. My blood pressure is going through the roof right now. And 1 traditional foil double-sided token with 4 cards of rarity, rare or higher, and 2 uncommon cards. Every pack contains a total of 5 to 6 foil cards. It's like when you're holding in a fart for a long period of time, you're on a date, then you get out in your car alone and you let it out. There's that long initial trumpet blast followed by little tiny toot at the end. That's aftermath. Now the problem here is that these boosters are available for pre-order at similar prices to what a normal booster costs. Slightly less, I guess. I mean, it's like $89 for a box of 24, which is still super expensive. It's supposed to tell the story of what happens after the invasion and the big battles. I gotta be honest here, I don't even follow the story. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who Nissa was or is or whatever. This is just my opinion, but the story is so convoluted and messy I can barely follow it anyway. That, and it happens so rapidly, by the time you begin to understand it and get caught up, it's on to the next thing. The characters exist for me as visual concepts attached to game mechanics. That's enough for me, alright? I'm not a Vorthos guy. I think a lot of players feel the same. I am buying zero Aftermath sealed product. There's nothing in there that I feel like rolling some very expensive dice for the chance to open. There is no value proposition here, and I can't even draft it. Most of the cards are pre-selling for $3 or less. It's mostly bulk. And for some reason, a reprint of Training Grounds. So this is 1 blue mana for an enchantment. Activated abilities of creatures you control cost up to 2 less to activate. This effect can't reduce the mana in that cost to less than 1 mana. This is only at 2 prior printings, was about $30, has been an EDH staple since it was printed in Rise of the Eldrazi. See EDH decks helmed by Thrasios, Sliver Queen decks, any decks that have a commander that has an activated ability that costs mana want this card. Well, alright, cool. The top pre-selling card right now on Card Kingdom is Karn Legacy Reforged. It's 5 generic mana for a legendary artifact creature. It's a Golem Star. His power and toughness are each equal to the greatest mana value among artifacts you control. Wonderful. At the beginning of your upkeep, add colorless for each artifact you control. This mana can't be spent to cast non-artifact spells. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. I don't know, dudes. I wouldn't buy this for $15. I mean, it's cool. It's a sweet build-around design that can vomit artifacts all over the place. Everybody loves Karn, you know what I mean? It would be a strong commander deck, but ain't any $15 card in the same world that Skithrix is under $10 right now. And then we have cards like Nissa, Resurgent Animus, 2 and a green for a legendary creature Elf Scout with Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, add 1 mana of any color. Then, if this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an elf or elemental card. Put that card in your hand, rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This is a pretty powerful legendary Lotus Cobra that draws cards in the command zone. Powerful, and an awesome build-around card. Alright, I like it. It's pre-selling for $12. Hear me out here. This is supposed to tell what happened after Nissa got completed and after the invasion, right? Last I saw Nissa, she looked like this. Take a look at this monster over here. Now she's back to being a creature, but she still has magical energy, I guess. She's not a planeswalker, but she's still a magical elf. So what the heck happened? And what story does this tell me? I mean, there are some cool cards. We got Narset, Enlightened Exile. She's 1 blue, red, and a white for a legendary creature. Human Monk, it's a 3/4. Creatures you control have prowess. Alright, that's pretty cool. Whenever she attacks, exile target non-creature, non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from a graveyard and copy it. So that's any graveyard, dudes. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So prowess triggers off all non-creature spells. So this is a pretty open-ended commander that you can pump at instant speed. Seems really fun to build around this ability, and you're getting free spells, dude, and that's gravy. And I like this guy as a build around Obnixilis Captive Kingpin. 2 black and a red for a legendary creature demon. It's a 4/3 with flying and trample. Whenever 1 or more opponents lose exactly 1 life, put a +1/+1 counter on Obnixilis Captive Kingpin. Exile the top card of your library. Until your next end step, you may play that card. So this guy, at least it tells a story in the flavor text, right? He's stranded on New Capenna. He's got no spark. He's faced 5 families out for blood, dude. The flavor text tells me a little bit about why he's here and what he's doing. The abilities are really easy to build around. This guy's in the colors of Pestilence, of Pyrohemia, not to mention cards like Zulaport Cutthroat and Blood Artist. You also have play from exile payoffs like Keeper of Secrets and now Feshni. Interesting build around, pretty beefy combat threat with flying and trample. Now, this guy looks pretty dope for an elf deck. You got Tyvar the Bellicose. Everybody go look up what Bellicose means. All I know is that Bellicosa in Italian means beautiful mouth. It's 2 black and a green for a legendary creature Elf Warrior. It's a 5/4. Whenever 1 or more elves you control attack, they gain Death Touch until the end of turn. Each creature you control has, whenever a mana ability of this creature resolves, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana this creature produced. This ability triggers only once each turn. This is bonkers in any elf deck or at the helm of an elf deck. Well, works great with Marwyn, but that card already had a billion synergies anyway. So that's kind of the top 5, top 6 that I'm interested in, but you got a bunch of cool cards in this set that I think are going to be, moderately well-selling singles. You got Kiora, Sovereign of the Deep, so this thing's going to build around Krakens, Leviathans, Octopus, all your little sea serpent stuff. Fun sea monster build around Commander. But we just got Kinesos. This Kiora rewards bigger spells and lets you dig for sea monsters, lets you dig a little deeper. No pun intended. Seems fun, but if you really want to build this archetype, haven't you already built Kinesos? And if you have, just stick this in that deck. You got Calyx over here. This guy's guided by fate. He's a big pain in the butt. He's another Selesnya enchantment commander, enchantment payoff. This is pretty good. Would be a sweet aura build around. The thing I like most about this guy is his fashion, dude. Look at those shorts. Then you got Sarkhan, Soul of Flame, dude. Pretty great in a dragon deck. I would play this in an Ur-Dragon, Scion of the Ur-Dragon, or at the helm of a dragon deck, I guess. The showcase art is pretty nice on this one. I dig it. I'd love a copy for my dragon decks. Then you got Nahiri. Alright, cool, man. Listen, we're getting another Boros equipment enabler and payoff. It's a sweet card advantage engine if you build right. Or just a payoff in an equipment deck. I don't know. Whatever. I dig it. It's great. Dig the art. And then we get into bulk territory. It's only a 50 card set. So you have roughly 10 cards or so that are selling at above the price of a pack, and that's the inflated pre-sale prices on Card Kingdom. I think there's probably some sleeper hits in here. Sigarda, Font of Blessings, you got Niv-Mizzet Supreme. These are both pretty decent cards. They're going to be decent build-arounds. I don't know, whatever, dude. Also wanted to mention Filter Out. So this is coming in 1 blue for an instant. Return all non-creature, non-land permanent cards to their owner's hand. Interesting in a wide variety of decks. It's a nice little piece of interaction that can be a huge swing. So final thoughts on Aftermath, I'm a bit mystified. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know why it's so expensive. I don't need any of these cards for anything. I'm happy about the reprint of Training Grounds. I kind of like Karn. I kind of like some of the other ones. But it seems like this weird cash grab. It got spoiled early for the disaster that it is, and then they just dump spoilers out after they sent a paramilitary organization to go threaten a guy and his family. I don't like to be negative. I like to see the positivity in things. There are a few cards in here that I would like to maybe pick up, but not if the prices are super inflated, dude. I could skip this entire thing and not be sad for a minute, have a cup of coffee, and go have pizza for dinner. I have no desire for this. I have no FOMO for this. And this just comes after March of the Machine, which made me really excited about Magic and building and all that kind of stuff. There are literally 8 versions of some of the cards here, and I don't even know what those versions are. People are asking if it's going to be heavily opened or not based on supply, and will that drive prices up and all this speculation. Honestly, I don't care. If the cards I want are cheap, I'm going to snag them. If not, I'll wait for the inevitable reprint in the next set. Listen, thanks for listening to these rants. You guys are the best, and I hope you have a fantastic day. It's Nicky G from Better Commander signing off.